Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Yes, here we are. Yes, I'm just wanting to make sure that I set a reminder for myself to mention something on the second half. I received a lovely message from Andrea Jackson, so I have an announcement from her. If I forget, just remind me. I won't forget. Never mind. How is everybody doing this morning? This is Coffee and Headlines. I'm happy to be here. It is Friday. April 19, cue the Friday music. Sure, why not? What do you have planned for this weekend? I thought I would make it to Boca de Tomatlan tomorrow, but I looked at my work schedule and I really need to promote the spotlight better than I have been, and I need to work on my upcoming music appreciation presentation. So no Boca de Tomatlan outing, at least not this weekend. Let me know what you're up to this weekend. I'd love to hear about your plans. Today, we have funny, interesting news. We have some useful stuff, and we have some announcements that you may be interested in hearing. But let me start with this one, which just, I don't know, I didn't even hear about this. Apparently, the story of an American man living in the jungle near Puerto Vallarta, surviving from fruits and fish while thinking he was living on an island, has gone viral. How did that happen? I mean, what actually happened, according to this news note, is that 10 days ago, on April 9, a man who was lost in the Alta Vista Hills for a few hours was found. End of story. That was all there was to the story. But somehow this story got distorted and it ended up in national headlines. Check this one from Excelsior, which is one of the credible newspapers from Mexico. The headline reads, "Foreigner thought he was lost in the jungle for years. It was Puerto Vallarta." And then the subheadline, which I'm blocking partially, reads, "May," which is probably his last name, "May disappeared 4 years ago thinking he was in the middle of nowhere and unable to find his way, so he remained where he was, hoping for a rescue." I mean, did you even hear about this locally? I totally missed it. And what I think is funny is that even the most credible news sources sometimes publish things without really knowing the facts. And that's exactly what happened here. So if you'd heard about this gentleman, please feel free to share what you know. it couldn't be worse than what was published nationwide. But let's get back to the news. We announced a bus fare hike in the Autotransportes Medina line almost 2 weeks ago. This is the bus line that connects Puerto Vallarta with Bahía de Banderas in Nayarit. And at the time, it was announced that the hike was arbitrary and illegal. And the company, unfortunately, continues to charge whatever they've decided to charge. Unfortunately, there is not a lot that we can do here for the bus line users other than to abide by the new prices until the government steps in to clarify the situation. But as we mentioned at the time, if you have employees here in Puerto Vallarta that are coming from Nayarit to come to work at your home, at your business, do be mindful that a few pesos difference may not make a big difference in your life or your budget, but it can certainly make a big difference in the life of your employees. So if you have somebody that is riding Transportes Medina on a regular basis, just be mindful of this as you consider their salary. And moving right along, the beach town of Rincón de Guayabitos in Nayarit may see a boom now that the new highway from Guadalajara has been completed. This is the second article I've seen this week talking about Rincón de Guayabitos. So if you're not familiar with the Rincón de Guayabitos, just write the word beach town in the comments and I will fill in the blanks with what I know about this very popular beach destination. What is important here is that according to the news article, it now takes 2.5 hours to reach Guayabitos from Guadalajara, which is almost half the time it used to take. And this will probably increase the town's appeal among folks living in our capital city, looking for a quick weekend escape. It is also worth remembering that there's a new highway from Guadalajara to Colima, and that's a different highway. And that new highway also puts folks living in Guadalajara 2.5 hours away from the beach, but of course near Cuyutlán, which is where I was last week. And before we turn over to the weather, we have an announcement from CEPAL now announcing a water shortage this morning in Colonia Volcanes. So if you live in Volcanes and you don't have any water, just know that it is temporary and that your service should be reestablished by 4 p.m. And now let's take a quick look at the weather to see what's going on out there. Oh, stop it. I know you're just checking the weather in between songs from Taylor Swift's new album. Actually, I'm not a Swiftie, so that is not my case. Right now, it's 25 degrees out there. Humidity is at 55%. And today we can expect clear skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 17. Then tomorrow, also clear skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and 17. And then Sunday, mostly clear skies throughout the day with a high of 29 and a low of 16. And that's the weather. And now I clear my throat. Hang on. Oh, that felt good. I have more interesting things to share. Let me set them up. Puerto Vallarta's Department of Culture has released the entire program for the upcoming 18th Vallarta Azteca Folkloric Dance Festival, which will begin on April 28th with an afternoon parade at 5:30 p.m. along the Malecón, and it ends on May the 5th with a closing ceremony at La Lija's Cultural Center. La Lija is where we went for our COVID vaccines, FYI. And the festival will bring together dance troupes from all over Mexico, along with several international troupes as well. So what that means is that there's going to be a number of free folkloric dance events happening throughout the city. The whole schedule will be available in the show notes. And this is also good news for traditional music lovers. A recently announced mariachi jam at the Isla Rio Cuale Cultural Center must have been quite successful, as authorities have now announced a follow-up event taking place this coming Wednesday, April 24, from 5 to 10 p.m. The event will feature mariachi bands and singers that are yet to be specifically announced, but it should be a good opportunity to enjoy some free music. And while we're at it, how about a shameless plug to one of my favorite restaurants in town, and definitely my favorite restaurant on the Isla Rio Cuale, and that is Rico Indian. It's just, 50 meters away from where the mariachi music is going to take place. So talk about a fun combination. Go and have a lovely Indian dinner at Rico Indian, and then follow that up with some traditional Mexican music. And yes, that is a shameless plug, but what can I tell you? I love dining at Rico Indian. If you've liked Rico Indian, show your support with a thumbs up or maybe a comment. I was going to say a comment, but only because our next news item has to do with a comet. It's time to pull your binoculars out from that drawer you never open in your closet. A devil comet is passing by Earth for the first time in more than 7 decades. Its official name is 12P Pons Brooks. Now that's catchy. But it got its nickname of a devil comet due to the formation of 2 horns made up of ice and glass. So maybe it's a good thing they didn't choose to call it the horny comet. The horny comet. Yes, that was funny when I wrote my notes, but it doesn't seem funny right now. Anyhow, the comet's sex drive is hardly as important as the fact that it will be visible through binoculars, and April 21st will be the optimal day for a sighting. You need to point your binoculars west at sunset. Where exactly? Well, I'm sure there is an app for that on your iPhone and you just don't know about it. And chances are that if you hold your binoculars with one hand and a margarita with the other, well, you will not be more successful at finding the darn thing, but I'm sure you will be a lot more entertained doing it that way. Or maybe that's just me feeling thirsty this early in the morning. And last but not least, now I know this to be a fact. Last week I was going nuts thinking that yesterday was my tango presentation. And no, it is this coming Thursday. So if you're in town and you want to learn about the history of tango and the difference between old tango and new tango and enjoy some lovely music, I have a music appreciation for you, which will be presented live and in person this coming Thursday at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. And of course, I'm going to do it live online shortly thereafter, which brings me to another point. Now that we have successfully found a way to do music presentations online, you've heard me talk about these from the beginning of the broadcast or when I started doing them again. If there are any favorite presentations from the past that you missed that you would like to see online, let me know. We can now make it happen, and we will. And with that said, let us see what you are up to with your comments this morning. La la la. Let's see. Good mornings and good afternoons. I love that as always. Let's see. Many, many good mornings. Okay. I'm going to point this one out because Mario says, it's been a while since I have watched. It seems I'm busier being retired than I was when working. Well, Mario, that maybe is not so bad. I mean, I suppose people have different choices. I would hate not being busy if I was retired. I would always want to keep myself busy. So if you've been busy, all I can say is I hope you've been busy doing things you enjoy doing. And yes, oh my God, the PV Jungle Man. You know, it's like, who knew? Who knew? And here's Lars watching from Denmark. Hello, Lars. Even though it has only been almost a week away from Puerto Vallarta, I miss the warmer temperatures. I do not like to wear heavy coats. I don't blame you. But you are in a good place. I know that. And you're doing wonderful things for those around you, and you're missed. And I know that you'll come back sometime soon, and we'll be ready for your return. Gina says, good morning. I say I crave a burger. Guess where I'm having lunch today? Let's see. There's a queue. We love the folkloric troupe, says Sherry. Their costumes are magnificent and dancing wonderful. I have even been lucky to see the Ballet Folklorico in Mexico City. Yes, this Vallarta Azteca dance troupe, which is, I believe they have been part of a university in town. They've been very successful. I mean, 18 annual festivals. That is quite an accomplishment. Let's see what else we have. Oh my goodness, Sylvie, thank you so much for being here, because you have everything to do with today's announcement that I forgot to see. This is amazing. I was ready to forget that I had an announcement about Sylvie, and I am going to make it right now. So, well, actually, before I do that, Sylvie says Rico Indian has a daily special 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., 180 pesitos. Oh my God, that's a great deal. Go have daily special, and at 5, jump over and go and enjoy the Folkloric Dance Festival. Why is this about Sylvie? Well, because I got this lovely message from Andrea Jackson, which I'm going to read. It says, hey Paco, not sure if this is welcome or not, but all around fabulous person, animalista and tour guide and lead singer Sylvie will be with the Zippers tomorrow at 3 p.m. from 3 to 6 at La Huerta. They extended the Zippers run for a bit, even as low season arrives. Maybe a plug tomorrow? Thanks. Well, Andrea, I have to tell you that I am always so grateful to receive messages like yours, because, you know, we don't have little vinyl antennas. I always welcome any announcements that are important to you. And if they're important to you, they must be important for other people. So thank you very much for reaching out. And yes, I know Sylvie, and she is all of those things. She's a fabulous person. She is an animal caring person, and a tour guide, and a fabulous singer. So there you have it. If you have nothing to do this afternoon, go check out Sylvie at La Huerta. There you go. And you know, you thought it was about Indian food, Sylvie. It's all about you. Break a leg. I love it. Muffin in the house. Buenos dias from Plaza Caracol, where I got a weekend trim at Barberos. Looking forward to catching the all-male performance of Swan Lake this Sunday evening at Act 2 Stages. The weather is beautiful out there this morning. Get out there and soak it up. I have heard good reports about the Swan Lake, all-male Swan Lake. I have not seen it. I don't know that I will or I won't, but it is happening. So there you have it. Oh, and I see a beautiful suggestion from Chris, Music Appreciation, the history of the blues. Ooh, that is juicy. I'm going to write that one down, because that is a great suggestion, and I have a few things to say about that. Love it. Oh, Larcito. Please let me know when you will do the tango presentation online. I am so happy I will not miss the presentations, even though I am on the other side of the earth. You may be on the other side of the earth, but you are always nearby, Lars, and you know that. But I'll remind you anyway. Let's see. Oh, good. Mario confirms that he's been busy loving life. I would hate to read that you are not. The other day, a retired gentleman got on my face because I was not doing something that he thought I should be doing. And I asked him, so what do you do for a living? And he says, I'm retired. And I'm like, well, I work full time. So, and I don't work for, never mind. I shouldn't be ranting here. Scratch that. And, oh, this is so funny. Sylvie says, serendipity. Totally. I had totally forgotten that Andrea sent me that lovely message. So there you have it. David, speaking of Cuyutlán, here is David one of the co-owners. We met Scott, but we did not meet David when we did our interview. David Estrada is the other amazing half of the Hotel La Villa in Cuyutlán. David is the chef, and David, and he's working closely with the staff. David is amazing. I've known David since he arrived in Puerto Vallarta from Colombia many moons ago, and to see my young friend become an adult or adulting and finding his path and being happy, that is just, I am so proud of you, David. De veras, estoy súper orgulloso, and it's great to see you here. Please keep us posted about what's going on in Cuyutlán, because what you're doing is absolutely wonderful. Let's see. Thank you, Paco. No need to thank me, Sylvie. You know, next time you're doing anything interesting, just remember we have a new, different weekly broadcast where you can join us online and tell you about everything or anything that you're doing. It is called The Spotlight. Hopefully, if I get my act together, you will hear more and more about The Spotlight, which is live on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. And it's a great opportunity for event producers, musicians, nonprofits, eateries, bars, anybody that has an event with a date. You can come online, be my guest, and talk about why we should attend your event. So keep that in mind, and we will be so very happy to feature you there. I think you meant to say he got on your case, not if he got on your face. No, he did not get on my face. He got on my case, but we're not even going to go into that story because it was unpleasant. We don't need to go there. Too funny. Never mind. All I can say is if you're retired and have nothing to do, find something to do. Find something fulfilling. You know, if you're retired and you're organizing events, well, you have more time than I do to make your event successful, so make it so. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that matter. We don't even have to talk about the specifics of this gentleman because it's not worth it. It's the end of today's broadcast. That's what it is. Thank you very much for joining me today. Again, I'm looking forward to dear lunch. Well, yeah, dear lunch with dear friends at Whiskey Kitchen today. So I'm excited for a burger. It's been a while. And I don't know what you have planned for the weekend. I'm going to be busy creating content for you guys because you are wonderful. You are special to me, and I appreciate your ongoing support and your being here on a regular basis. So I will see you back here tomorrow, of course. And if not, hopefully I'll see you again sometime soon. Have a great Friday. And once again, I just pushed the wrong button with my big stupid smile. Here we go. Have a great Friday. Bam!